Hi. Well, every day we hear more and more about this conflict. Trump has a lot of legal problems. He has more than 91 allegations against him that he has to defend in court, and he is causing a lot of problems in the court. He's against the judge, he's against the judge's assistant, he's against the prosecutor, he's against all of the appraisers, he's against the accountants, he's against everybody, and he's raging. Doesn't look mentally stable. A lot of professional people don't think he's mentally stable, and mental stability is not obvious to everybody. I mean, you look at Rosalind Carter. They put her into a hospice for dementia, and she died 2 days later. So she had dementia for a long time. And the fact that they put her in the hospice 2 days before she died showed that she had a different problem. She should have been put in the hospital or, a hospice for 2 days. Well, I guess that's okay, but it just shows that she had undiagnosed dementia for a long, long time. So a lot of people who are professionals believe that Donald Trump is not in his right mind, and we have this conflict. He can't get along with anybody who's working with these cases against him, and anytime they tell him he has to act like a normal human being, he says that they're interfering with his election process and that they are ruining his chances to being elected, even though he tried to steal 11,780 votes from the citizens of Georgia. He didn't think that was interfering with an election by making that phone call. However, he is raging in the courts and acting like a wild man. So there's this conflict between the courts and justice, protecting the witnesses, protecting anybody who might come onto the jury. Nobody's going to want to be on that jury if Donald Trump is going to investigate them fully and then publicize all of their information and then start calling them names and talking about their kids and their husbands and their children's schools and so forth. So he is putting at jeopardy his fair trial, and he's also putting at jeopardy the safety and the right to some sort of privacy to the people who will be sitting on the jury. Then we have this claim of, well, he's running for president, he's ahead, blah, blah, blah. Well, Trump doesn't have to run for president. Running for president is a choice. For instance, I could have run for president, but my choice was not to run for president this year because it wasn't a good time for me. And Trump has to make that choice. Is this a good time for him to run for president? Maybe he should wait until 2028 when these cases will all be solved. He can say anything he wants. The judges and the juries and the court staff and the witnesses will all be over with, and he can say whatever he wants. Nobody's life or safety will be in jeopardy. So you have to make a choice when you run for president. Is this a good time? Well, Trump knew all along, ever since he staged that insurrection on January 6, 2021, he knew that, or 2020, he knew that he was going to go to court. He knew that he was going to have cases against him, and he knew that he was going to have a trial. So maybe that wasn't the right choice. It would be common. Trump makes a lot of bad choices. So he just made a bad choice to have his name as a candidate for 2024, and it wasn't his year. This is not the right year for Trump. He needs to come and run in 2028 when these cases will be settled There will be no problems with him and the judges and all of the other things that are involved in legal cases. And he can run his campaign the way he wants to. He can say whatever he wants to without a gag order. The courts won't have to decide whether or not they can imprison him because, of course they say now you can't put him in prison because he's a candidate for president. But if you weren't a candidate for president, you could do whatever you need to do in order to secure the safety of the people involved in his court case. So my feeling is he has to be disqualified for running for president because this just isn't his year. He has too many irons in the fire. He has too many problems. It was a bad decision to put his name out as a candidate for 2024, and he can't handle both sides of the issues. Running for president, he wants to badmouth everybody. He wants to kill General Miley. He wants to hang Mike Pence. He has other people he wants to kill and hang, but if he wants to do that, he needs to be able to say that, and people need to know who he is. He is the snake that he talked about, the snake that will bite you. And then people say, well, why did you do that? Well, you knew I was a snake. And he was telling you his story all along. You know he's a snake. People know he has mental illness problems, and he should not in any way be a candidate for president in 2024. Mentally, he's too unstable, and with this crazy thinking, he wants to go in and change the Constitution. You can't have somebody with a mental illness go in changing the Constitution. So Trump in 2028, he can run as a candidate, but in 2024, he needs to drop out of the race, go through his cases, have all of that stuff settled in a normal manner. He can be under court rules as a normal normal citizen, and all of this infighting and all of these problems with witnesses and juries can be eliminated. So what would you think about wanting to be on the jury of a Trump trial? I find it would be rather hectic, confusing, and worrisome as to what exactly you're going to be subjected to with this crazy man in the courtroom. So what do you think? Trump should wait until 2028 when it might be his time. Like and subscribe. Bye.